What if I told you the crack cocaine epidemic that devastated American cities in the 1980s wasn't an accident? What if the US government itself had a hand in flooding the streets with deadly drugs? Tonight, we uncover one of the darkest secrets in US history, the CIA's alleged role in creating the crack epidemic. A conspiracy so explosive that the journalist who exposed it ended up dead. Stay tuned, because the truth is far more disturbing than you ever imagined. The 1980s. The US government launches an all-out war on drugs. The message? Crack cocaine is destroying our communities. But here's the sinister twist. The same government claiming to fight drugs may have helped supply them in the first place. But how did crack spread so fast? Who was behind it? The answer leads straight to the CIA and a secret war in Central America. In the 1980s, the US was obsessed with fighting communism. The Contras, a rebel group in Nicaragua, were battling a leftist government. President Reagan wanted to help them. But there was one problem. Congress banned funding for the Contras in 1984. But the CIA found another way. According to whistleblowers and declassified reports, they turned to drug money. Here's how it worked. The Contras smuggled tons of cocaine into the US. The CIA turned a blind eye because the profits funded their war. The cocaine ended up on the streets and fueled the crack epidemic. And the worst part? The government knew and let it happen. In 1996, investigative journalist Gary Webb published Dark Alliance, a bombshell report revealing how the CIA allowed cocaine to flood American cities. His findings? Crack wasn't just a crisis, it was engineered. But instead of being praised, Webb was discredited, attacked, and blacklisted. Major newspapers shut down his story, calling it sensationalist. And then, things took an even darker turn. 2 gunshots to the head. Does that sound like suicide to you? Or was Webb silenced for exposing the truth? The real victims? Black and Latino communities. Crack ravaged entire neighborhoods. Mass incarceration skyrocketed. And while white Wall Street execs did cocaine in penthouses, poor Americans got life sentences for crack possession. And here's the ultimate hypocrisy: the same government that allowed drugs to flood these streets then locked up the victims for using them. Now, decades later, we're facing a new drug epidemic. But ask yourself, who profits? Who really benefits when millions of people are hooked, imprisoned, or dead? The crack epidemic wasn't just a failure of policy. It was a planned crisis. And if they did it before, what makes you think they aren't doing it again? What do you think? Was the crack epidemic just bad luck? Or was it engineered for control? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more deep dives into the world's biggest cover-ups, subscribe now. Because the truth is out there.